One of the biggest things that I hope the customer always remembers is that we care. We care about what they do. We care about their mission. We want them to make that mission just like they do.
Hi, I'm Rick Whittle with BreakingDefense.com, and I'm here at the Association of the United States Army's annual convention to talk to one of the entrants in the Army's #1 priority helicopter program, the Future Armed Reconnaissance Aircraft Program, also known as FARA. And we're at Karem Aircraft. Karem Aircraft is a very interesting company started by a genius named Abe Karem, who is better known as the father of the Predator drone. But today we're here to talk to Thomas Berger, who is the vice president of Karem Aircraft and the manager of their FARA program. Now, Karem is teaming with Northrop Grumman, that major aerospace company, and with Raytheon, another huge company, to design one of the 5 contesting entrants for the FARA contract, in which the Army will next March select 2 companies to build a prototype aircraft. And the basic program is to build a helicopter that can go a lot faster than existing helicopters and has improved agility and other characteristics. And I'm going to ask Thomas Berger to tell us more about that.
Thank you, Rick. So let me start by saying that Karem Aircraft is well known for doing optimal speed tilt rotors. So we've been in the going fast VTOL game for quite some time, and the best way to do that is to take off vertically and tilt the nacelles on a tilt rotor to go fast. Now, we've got a lot of technology that helps us do that on the tilt rotor. We have light, stiff rotor blades, rigid rotor hub. All of that gives us favorable dynamics to allow us to vary the RPM of a rotor. In addition,
but, Thomas, let me
yes,
interrupt. You're not offering a tilt rotor for FARA.
No,
right?
sir. But
why not?
the FARA has a particular requirement to fit into a 40-foot box. And so, though we can apply the technology that we've been working on for the longest time here with the Army to the FARA, we are not a tilt rotor. So this is the Karem AR-40. And as I mentioned, we're applying the technologies that we've been using for OSTR to this aircraft. So we have a rigid rotor, light, stiff rotor blades. We have individual blade control actuators, so we're able to vary the pitch around the azimuth that gives us the best for performance. So we're not locked in by a swash plate, which gives you a sinusoidal trajectory. We're able to shape the blade pitch as we go around the azimuth to give the best vibration, the best acoustics, the best performance. Going on down here, we have a large wing, and that's very important to unload the rotor. So in order to go fast, again, you want to reduce the drag, and you also want to deal with the dynamics problems. And so putting a lot of the weight on the wing provides for that reduction in drag and reduction in vibration by unloading the rotor at high speed. We also have a large internal weapons bay on either side. It provides maximum utility. And behind the cockpit, we have a large space for mission equipment packages or for side-by-side seating for a SOCOM variant. So 2 passengers are on each side, 4. Side-by-side seating in the cockpit for better crew coordination. And then also in the back, there is a swiveling tail rotor. So we swivel the tail rotor 90 degrees. So when we take off and hover, we look like a conventional helicopter in hover. But once we start going fast, the vertical stabilizer becomes effective and you can provide anti-torque. And this becomes a pusher prop. So we get out of the way for the edgewise rotor to have the dynamics problems relieved and also to now provide the pusher prop, so I don't have to lean the main rotor in. I don't have to put the thrust on the main rotor. I can provide all the thrust on the tail.
So you're kind of a tilt prop.
That's correct. And so we have some experience with the tilt rotor, and so that gives us some knowledge on how to do this.
Uh-huh. What is this thing down here, this fairing? Is that...
So this is our vertical stabilizer. It's also a rudder, so we can provide steering and control here. Same thing here. We only have one side because we need room for the swiveling tail rotor on this side.
That doesn't create some sort of aerodynamic imbalance?
No, sir. You can accommodate that with We have tilting wings to do two things: to relieve the download in hover, and then also to provide additional maneuver. So I'm able to take care of the asymmetry
Now
with
that's
the wings.
fascinating. So it's a tilt wing without having the propulsion on the wing.
That's correct.
So that's a departure. Did Abe Karem come up with that?
Again, so Abe has been designing aircraft for many, many years, and he does that 24/7, and so he gets really good at it. And so yes, this is basically the concept developed by Abe Karem, and we believe it's the best design against the requirement set for the Army.
As far as I know, that's an innovation. I haven't heard of other tilt wings that don't have propellers or rotors on them. Am I wrong?
Yes, I don't know of any other aircraft that's doing exactly this.
Uh-huh. That means that your rotor is not pushing air down on the wing when you're in a hover.
That's correct. So we relieve that download, and so we're able to do the Army requirements with a single ITE engine.
Let me ask you a question about the rotor. Some of your competitors have got coaxial rotors. I think Sikorsky's got a 4-bladed rotor. You've got 3 blades, and they have a sort of I would call it a knife blade shape to them. Why?
Yeah, so again, we are focused on getting the best efficiency and minimizing the drag. And so we did not have a legacy aircraft design that we're bringing forward. We applied the technology that we've been working on with the Army for many years to this, but it's essentially a clean sheet design, and so we think this is the best design against the requirements, and a single rotor is just less draggy than 2. And then the shaping of the blades, they have to be optimized for both the hover condition but also for the high speed condition. And so you see it thicker at the root to provide the stiffness that we need to deal with the dynamics, so it's a very rigid blade with a very thick root. And then the optimized airfoil for high speed.
So Karem Aircraft has done the design of the configuration, and what are Northrop and Raytheon going to do?
Yeah, so we are partnered with Northrop and Raytheon, and Northrop provides the know-how from OEM perspective. They really know how to produce aircraft. They know how to produce them rapidly. They've been doing that. And Raytheon provides all the mission system integration. They know how to take a platform and turn it into a weapon system. So that's a very powerful team that we brought for the Army to solve this problem. It's somewhat new in the rotorcraft space. I mean, Northrop Grumman certainly has done rotorcraft before, but we're not one of the major Army primes for rotorcraft. But we've put together a team that's able to execute on this program because of their experience and their know-how.
Who's going to do the prototype if you win that contract? Who's going to actually build the prototype?
So Northrop Grumman is working on a lot of the airframe, and we're working on a lot of the rotor and drive components.
Uh-huh. And this rotor actually is the same technology that's been being tested under the Joint Multi-Role Technology Demonstrator Program, is it not?
That is correct. So again, that was the tilt rotor program that we've been working, and so again, we have the light, stiff rotor blades to provide for good dynamics, to provide a wide RPM range. Yeah. So we're leveraging that, and also the individual blade control, actuation, and then all the know-how that comes along with that. So we've been developing light, stiff rotor blades, rigid rotor blades for quite some time. Abe Karem is also the father of the A160, which had tremendous endurance. Basically we flew that aircraft for 20 hours. Unmanned helicopter. 20 hours on a bag of gas using the light, stiff, optimal speed rotor technology.
And what do you anticipate the top cruising speed in level flight would be for this aircraft?
So we exceed the threshold requirement of 180 knots by over 20%, so in the 200s.
Uh-huh. And what kind of range do you anticipate the aircraft?
So I don't want to go into too many details there, but we have significant legs. We are, very efficient. We've done all these innovative things to become as efficient as we can. So we think we're, based on what we know, we think we're going to be best in that particular category.
Uh-huh. Okay, well, it's a really interesting concept. You're up against some tough competitors in Sikorsky and Bell, and and the one of the largest aerospace companies, Boeing, and I did a story about them this week from AUSA about the fact that they're not revealing anything about what their entry is. And one of their executives said, well, if you reveal what you're going to do, then you show your competitors things that they can use to try to beat you both in the technology and in price. Doesn't worry you to be putting this out here?
No, we think we have, the right design against the requirements, and so we think this is the right time to share that with the larger Army and the public to, get some traction. The competitors are great companies. I actually worked for Boeing. I've worked for L3, who's teamed with ABX. So they're all great companies. I think all the competitors have a really good shot in this. But again, we think this is the best design against requirements. And then with the team that we've put together, we think that we can execute it. One important thing is, with the newness of Northrop entering in the sort of large rotorcraft business with us it's a new team with novel, innovative technology that we really think is going to be the solution against the emerging threats that are really sort of the reason FARA is being moved forward. So you need the innovative technology. Karem brings that, and with the strong team with Northrop and Raytheon, I think we can execute the program.
Okay. Thanks very much. I appreciate you showing it to us.
Absolutely.